Today, I had a photographer come up from London to Cheltenham to take some photos of me. There's going to be an article related to my book in the national press coming out shortly, and they want a photographer to take some photos. Firstly, I was surprised because I'd assumed they'd use somebody local and not somebody who'd come up from London. And so he was here with all his equipment, you know, the light shade things that bounce off with his flash. It was all very interesting seeing all the professional setup and the hundreds and hundreds of photos that were taken in snap in different poses. We moved some books, we changed location, we did quite a lot inside and then some outside afterwards, and clearly the editor will choose the right photo. But like many, I just like having my photo taken. It's like, do I smile? Do I not smile? What do I do with my hands? What do I do with my legs? I mean, he was very good at telling me what to do. But it just got me thinking more broadly about how we see ourselves in later life. Because I think we have a vision in our head, don't we, that we still look like we did maybe 10 or more years ago. And then when we see the picture without any filters, it's like, is that really me? Have I really got those wrinkles? Do I really look that old? But for me, I'm less bothered about how old I look in a photo, but does it sort of tie in with the image I have of myself? So if I have images of me, you know, frowning or with my mouth half open because they've taken the picture while I'm in the middle of speaking, or heaven forbid, while I'm eating, and they don't feel thoughtfully taken. And I don't like it when friends will post pictures where I'm clearly not looking my best. But I think our photos, what's out in the world, is just one view of who we are, because it's a 2D image, isn't it? And it's not really capturing who we are as a person, because we are far more than what we see out there. So the photo is capturing part of us, but then there's the personality, our inner being. And well, how do we portray that? You know, I can try and convey it from a look, but is that really how something's going to work or not? And I think generally we convey our personality, how we are with people, the way we speak, the way that we listen, the way we show our listening to other people, because it's not just, you know, nodding our head. There's a lot more to showing your listening than that. So the photo shoot, and now I need to put some furniture back and put some books on the shelf and just wonder what it's all going to be like. But it was fascinating to see somebody in action and to compare against other photographers that I've worked with. He's clearly somebody who very much knows his trade. And today is the day that Keir Starmer has resigned. And he was saying that, you know, if he hadn't been coming up to Cheltenham to see me, he'd probably have been at Downing Street taking photos. So that's an exciting part of his life. I'm not sure in a hot car driving up to Cheltenham is an exciting part of his life. But I think that's something that I've always been curious in, is about people's jobs and what they like about them and what they dislike about them and why they've taken on that. And I think that's something that in a way is missing when we move into later life, because people are making all sorts of assumptions, particularly if you're no longer working, despite everything else that's going on in your life, the volunteering, the hobbies, the interests, the learning, the creative tasks that you're doing and projects that you're doing. And people think they know us. A bit like you can look at a picture and think, I know what that person's like. You don't, do you? You never know what a person's like until you're properly engaged with them. And I've got an idea for a project that I want to start doing, which is about meeting people where they are and just getting to know them, taking a photograph probably, and asking some just simple questions that people can answer in whatever way. And I think for me, part of being me is having a creative project that excites me. And it's not something that I'll get paid for, because earning money isn't the key driver for me. It's about doing interesting stuff. And one of the reasons I'm shooting videos like this is about hopefully giving people something to think about. And I think where I'd like to leave things is just to ask you, if you've got this far, is about aging and what does getting older mean to you? And how have you noticed the difference with how you go for portraiture photography against how you might have done it younger? Because I think when we're younger, we're just like, hey, take my picture. And then we reach a point where we want to be seen in a particular way. But I think actually what I'd rather do is to be seen as other people see me, as long as it's not catching me half with my mouth half open or something. But I think rather than give you a whole list of questions, and maybe I'll add some to the notes that go with it, it's just thinking about, what does having photographs mean to you at whatever stage of life you're in? So I'll leave that as something for you to reflect on. Till next time, it's Dr. Denise. Take care. Bye-bye.